the S2 test, he aced it. I think he was second best.
Well, yeah. In fact, I have that S2. I have those S2
Yeah.
numbers in front of me right now. These are a cognitive test they give the quarterbacks. Bryce Young, 98th percentile.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Haener, 96th percentile. Then Will Levis and Jaron Hall both check in at 93rd percentile. Clayton Tune, 84th percentile. Anthony Richardson, 79th percentile. Hendon Hooker, 46th percentile. But the one that jumps out and the one that makes a lot of people speculate Houston may pass on C.J. Stroud is C.J. Stroud checked in at 18th percentile. I will say this, though. Alex Smith broke the record for the Wonderlic, never won a Super Bowl, but he was exceptionally bright. Dan Marino, I think, had an 11 on the Wonderlic. Dan Marino, for some of you younger fans, was a good quarterback. I'll just leave it at that. So I don't know how much to put into the Wonderlic. I don't know how much to put into the S2, but the Niners, I really do believe they believe in it. And I know that Trey Lance and Brock Purdy both scored very high in the S2 scores when they came out of college. So what does it all mean? What does that tell you about Haener?
I think it tells you that he's a leader, and I talked to him at the combine. I interviewed him, and you can tell, everyone's sizing everyone up out there. But you talk to Haener, and I just look at him, how he answers the questions. Everything is measured. He's poised. He thinks about what he's going to say, and then when he says it, it's clear, well-defined, concise. You watch the way he plays. He makes good decisions. The arm strength is always going to be an issue. He's 5'11", 205. He's not huge. That's just how it is. But, those intangibles are absolutely everything that you want. And just the way that he can run a room, control. You just see that it's there with him, and that why wouldn't you want this guy in your quarterback room? At the very least, you know that he's going to be there, show up. He's smart. He's going to be able to step right in and have a complete control of the offense and be able to do it. There's real value in that. And it's the same thing that they did with Brock. So that has real value. The next guy that I would say, I like Clayton Tune a little more than I think some of the other NFL guys. And you talk about production, 4-year starter, again, had a great season this year at Houston. Tank Dell, another wide receiver. He's 5'8", 165 pounds, but he's dynamic. And, him and Dell were just they had a Vulcan mind meld between the two of them.
Right.
And, It just really fun to watch that Houston offense. Another freshman, Matthew Golden, who was a really talented receiver. He really coached him up a lot. And Tune's a plus athlete. He was a hurdler in high school. He ran in the 4.5s, mid 4.5s. I want to say rumored in high school in terms of his speed. You saw that when he'd break the pocket, and a couple times he ran. He got a little dinged up in 2021. He actually pulled a hamstring in the second or third game of the season because he did break the pocket and ran. And didn't even get tackled. He was just, going down the sidelines. He pulled the hamstring. He just goes, I'm going to go run out of bounds. And didn't miss a game, played through it, just taped it up and gutted it out. But he couldn't run, which really hampered him. But last year, it really kind of came together a lot more for him where he wasn't banged up. I think he's got it. At the Senior Bowl, had the highest velocity in terms of miles per hour on his throws. Doesn't have a huge arm, but when he needs to gas it up, he can do it, and he can hit the windows. And like I said, mobility, has a good feel for the pocket, will make some bad decisions. He'll make a bad read or two. There's no doubt about it. There are flaws. That's why you're talking about him in the 5th, 6th, 7th round. But if there's two guys out of that class that I think, would fit that mold that, Shanahan and Lynch kind of would hit with Purdy, it would be those two guys, and you can get them pretty late.
So you like Tune. What do you think of DTR? Because, there's been a lot of talk about DTR. The one thing about DTR, and that's Dorian Thompson-Robinson for those who don't watch college football. They kind of, refer to him more times than not as DTR. But, he, Bishop Gorman High School, has played a ton of football at UCLA. I thought he had his best year this year under Chip Kelly, completed nearly 70% of his passes. Very athletic, definitely a team leader, a very mature kid. He's a rhythm thrower, and but this year he was in rhythm a lot more, and UCLA's offense was better for it. What do you think of DTR at the next level?
First off, like you said, I mean, great athlete. Without a doubt, you ran a 4.55, I think, somewhere in that range. And for a quarterback, you're used to hearing 4.5s, and it's like, oh, well, that's okay for a wide receiver. Hey, for quarterback, 4.5, you're doing great. Okay,
Yeah.
so no problem with that. And like you said, very experienced, accurate, is living in the short to medium range a lot, and that's he had good weapons for that. Kaz Allen. Small little scat back, slot receiver. Like he was able to hit him. Deneric Felton last year in 2021. They were able to kind of exploit him out of the backfield too a lot. And Jake Bobo, a Duke transfer, who's a big wide receiver. It's like a 6'5" slot a lot of times. And, he was kind of like almost a Dulcich this year they had. Greg Dulcich went on to the Denver Broncos and become a real good right out of the gate. He was my number one rookie tight end last year, and right out of the gate he was ready to go. Props to them for how Chip Kelly has brought along and run his system. But and the point is, DTR ran that system perfectly. Like he was just like not a good, solid system coordinator. Didn't try to do too much. Like if anything, his decision making was good. He would air it out a couple times where he tries to get a little, he'd make his take his shots downfield, and he doesn't have the big arm to be able to, stretch it, and he will kind of get caught sometimes, but really good navigating the pocket. He will reset at times, like if you get him in open space, he's deadly running, like no problem. You want to run, hey, he's got the green light. But definitely a plus athlete with good short to medium accuracy. And obviously in the West Coast system, you want to recruit guys who have good short to medium accuracy on their throws. You can throw those quick timing routes. So I think that certainly could be an option. Like I said, you can get him 6th, 7th round, probably, because his lack of conventional, size. He's 6'1", 205. He's, not huge or anything like that, but definitely 6th, 7th round. I saw him at the Shrine Bowl. I thought he was really good. He was on my all Shrine Bowl team, him and Aiden O'Connell, two, both very good in that forum, just different kinds of quarterbacks. But yeah, absolutely. Nothing wrong with giving him a shot if Trey Lance is gone. You got Sam Darnold, as a milquetoast backup starter type, and having somebody with a little juice behind him who can maybe throw a different look if it isn't going well with Darnold and Birdie isn't back.
Two guys that are interesting to me, and I got to get your thoughts, and I think I may have asked you about him a couple times ago when we had you on to talk about the quarterbacks, but Max Duggan what do you think of him? He ran in the 4.5s. Nobody thought TCU was going to be good. TCU was great. Nobody thought Duggan was going to win the Heisman. Duggan was the runner-up. They went 12-1. He came off the bench in week 1. Sonny Dykes took the starting job away from him. Then the guy he handed it to got hurt in the first game. Duggan stepped in and never missed a beat and was incredible. Is Duggan just a good college quarterback who can't do it in the pros, or are people sleeping on him? And then the other guy who's super intriguing to me when I watch him is Malik Cunningham from Louisville, who's 6 feet, 195 pounds. I saw him in one of the All-Star games. There's guys with bigger stature. There's guys with a bigger arm. But as far as mobility and the ability to throw on the move and dynamic movement ability, man, Cunningham's super intriguing. Both these guys move very well. What's your thoughts on Duggan or Malik Cunningham, as they try to ascend to the next level? Do you see them as pro quarterbacks? Are they backups solely? Are they third string guys? Where do you rank those two?
Yeah, with Duggan, like you said, Chandler Morris won the job. He's 5'11", 180, coming out of camp because Sonny Dykes came in. It's not Gary Patterson anymore at TCU. And so when a new coaching staff comes in, all jobs are up for grabs. And, the new staff happen to prefer the accuracy, and the timing of Chandler Morris as opposed to the dynamicism of Duggan.